up the ante there that they attend for summer school. But, you know, I think we've been very proactive. We're not waiting for 2017, and it's going really, really strong for us. The parent notification, like I said, the letters go home. I've had a lot of phone calls. I've had parents meet with us face-to-face. We just had our parent-teacher conferences, answered a lot of questions there. But our parents are taking this very, very seriously, and I applaud them for that. So I think I covered all the points that I wanted to cover there.
I think so. I think one piece then, so that assessment is an online assessment that the teachers like monitor the students, and then they enter data online, and so it has a system where the Department of Ed accesses all the data of all of our students that are in the system. And then part of that is also progress monitoring that occurs. So those kids that failed to beat the benchmark 2 testing periods in a row that are declared substantially deficient, we have to have 2 things in place. One thing is that we have to do weekly progress monitoring. And so in that online system, we do that progress monitoring. The kids see how well they do, and they can see their graphs go up and down, holding them a little bit of accountable too for their progress and getting to see the gains that they're making. And the other thing is those kids that are substantially deficient have to have an intervention in place of some sort, using some research-based materials with a highly qualified reading teacher, which all of our elementary teachers are. And so we've set up in the 2 buildings, in Taft and Meese, we have some intervention times designated where the students that might be really, really struggling with reading are in a small group. So they might only have 5 kids in their group with 1 teacher. Kids at the upper end that maybe we're challenging and pushing and writing, you know, that have been very successful with the test, and what can we do to move them forward, we have them in a little bit larger group with some supports to be able to move their learning forward. So we're not only challenging our kids that are struggling, but also our top readers also. And so, and then those students that are like, they missed the benchmark 1 testing period, and then the next period they made it, so they're considered at risk. And so we still need to do the progress monitoring on them online. And so it puts a lot out on the teachers. I mean, they have a lot of work to be able to progress monitoring and get these interventions set up and get the materials going. And as part of the law, you know, we'd established 3 committees. Mr. Bruder talked a little bit about the implementation and looking at that data and what we're doing there. The summer school committee, he'll just briefly touch on that. And then we have a child care outreach committee, and I'll talk about that as if you have anything to update on the summer school. Anything else you'd like to add?
The teachers were able, we had 2 of our summer school teachers at the last meeting for our SIAC, our district advisory, and they were, you know, again, very complimentary to the board, Mr. Darling, the administration, for allowing it to expand to 6 weeks instead of 3, and to allow more teachers, smaller groups, that type of thing. And they really felt they were able to zero in on the needs of, well, it was kindergarten first and second graders to be, and some 3rd graders. And again, the attendance was really, really good. We're hoping to mirror that with a few changes for this next summer. The other part too that I was thinking of as Tamlin was talking, you know, that progress monitoring, that wasn't only the group that was here tonight. It was also, because support staff, title teachers, special ed teachers here tonight, but all of our classroom teachers. And well, we're starting in preschool, so preschool all the way through our elementary grades. So they're all getting on board. Last year, 1st grade it was really all new to them, and as those students moved on to 2nd grade, this year 2nd grade is learning all. Well, they're past the progress monitoring part of it. They're able to do that weekly too. So at first, you know, it's what are we doing? What's it look like? They've been wonderful. And is it stressful? It is. And you know, a lot of sweat, some tears, a lot of discussions. But our PD for Wednesdays are really literacy based, and we're really, really happy about
So one thing that came out of this is, our parents are busy, we have a lot of parents that work 2 jobs, just about all they can do is get home at night and get supper on the table and get kids in bed. And so we thought, well, where do kids spend the most time during the day? And that's with our child care providers. So we came up with a child care outreach program where we have utilized some Humboldt County Community Foundation grant money as well as Building Families money. And we've purchased book sets based on themes and developed activities, and then we've, on the back side, then on the other side, it talks a little bit about that. And then put these kits together in the lower right-hand side, you can see some of the kits. And so once a month, we're rotating these kits in and out of the child care center. Somebody might get the transportation kit this month, and then they might have the farm animals next month. And so we've been really, really excited about the project. As you can see, there's a couple of quotes from a couple of the providers and the kids. They've been really excited about it, and that excitement has kind of spread, and we're hoping to, in January, to go down to the Early Literacy Conference and then share our project. We're really proud of the work that we've done, and we're going to continue to tap into funds to be able to help support this and continue to get those great literacy sources and materials in the hands of our child care providers, and continue to build out. One of our plans this spring is to bring the child care providers in and do a couple of 1-hour sessions just on literacy and about what that test really looks like, and that the kids have to take when they're in preschool. And so they're very excited about it, the kids are excited about it, and can do nothing but good.
These plastic crates that are exchanged on Wednesdays.
Right.
So if you see a bunch of cars pull up and we're exchanging, there's nothing risky about it. They're exchanging books. But it's really, I think it's just fascinating, the amount of daycare providers that really appreciate this, and I've heard that, and just it's building that partnership with our community and stuff, so.
Yep.
And then how everything's connected for us too. TLC, you hear those letters a lot, but our teacher leadership, we have 2 teachers, probably about 4 of our TLC teachers have been a big part of the work that's being done with Eli, literacy, PD also, so it's all embedded. And, we can't say enough great things about TLC, so that's been a big support of our work here too.
And with this child care outreach, just a little shout out to Michelle Zog, who's been an essential part. She's the one that helps to exchange the kits, and she's helped creating new kits along the way. Bray McDaniel, a special ed teacher down at TAP, and then also Kathy Rohde, our AEA speech consultant, helped us with that initial round of putting some of those kits together. So definitely a team effort to help benefit our kids, and we're excited, and we can't wait for winter testing to see how we're doing.
And we're excited for that, which will be winter of 2016, so we're still a good year away from that 2017, and we've been informed what the test is going to look like now. We're happy to hear that. Actually putting our eyes on it. I don't know if it's exactly the fast test that we have now, but we're getting closer.
I know the 2 of them, they don't like to hear, but they are very instrumental in this, being the leaders in that, and asking us and thinking outside the box. And I appreciate their leadership with that, so it was a good thing. Any questions you have?
Well, a question I had, I'm looking at lower right-hand corner about the summer school.
The 75 and 90%.
Looks like, yeah. So if our children have 2 bad testing periods in a row, then they go into summer school, mandatory summer school.
Yeah.
Yep.
End of their 3rd grade year.
In the 3rd
The
grade.
end of 3rd grade, and then if they don't attend up to 90% of the time, they will be retained in 3rd grade.
Right.
Yep.
The way the legislation looks right now.
Is there a test upon completion of summer school that
So
you have to
then-
pass so you don't
Then
retain it?
so let's say they meet these requirements,
Right.
4th grade, but then we don't stop there. There's continued progress monitoring
All the way through.
that all the way through.
But I mean, after completion of the summer school.
No test.
There is a test?
Well,
There is not.
they'll do
No,
Oh,
the-
there is not.
Right, they do the progress monitoring along the way, and
Okay.
in the legislation, it says something about consistently achieving good results with third grade benchmarks. So what's that mean? Will we get to administer a test, or if they come, they automatically go on? We're not sure how that's gonna
Because,
work.
you know, you didn't do good 2 tests prior to that.
Yeah,
So now you're taking 75 hours to school,
yeah,
but there's nothing to
I see where you're going.
Right,
retest to
right.
see if you met
Right.
the benchmark to get into 4th grade.
so this just came out on November 10th, the new clarifications on the legislation, it's like a 49-page document that
I'm
I haven't
sure.
gotten into yet, but I just discovered it
Yeah.
yesterday, so anxious to read in here, and I'm hoping maybe more, that'll clarify that a little bit more for us.
They'll
So,
still
But that hasn't been clear.
yeah.
What's been clear is the 75 and the 90.
But they're still offered that summer school if they're behind before third grade too.
Yes.
though.
Yes.
It's like you're doing now, you're continuing
We
that
want to be
process.
proactive, so we're gonna offer that for them
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a financial burden, and it's one of those unfunded mandates.
So how
you
long
know.
do they assess them, or how long after third grade are they assessed?
You're supposed to be all the way through high school, and just keep plugging away, so pretty soon we'll be passing them on to middle school, and Ms. Geitzenhauer gets to figure out what it has to.
But then it's too late, you can't take 3rd grade over then.
Right. No, we have one shot
No,
there.
Because this is mandatory repeat of 3rd grade,
Yes,
Right.
mhm, yes. Yeah.
which has never
Yeah.
been legislated before, right? I mean,
Correct.
No, this is-
Why third grade?
Well, you know, third grade's kind of at that age where they've been learning to read, and now they're reading
Past
to
their-
learn,
yeah.
you know, when they reach
That's-
that
yeah.
age, and that's just that kind of breaking point.
Studies show at 3rd grade, that's the breaking point of success or not success.
Right, and there'll be a few kids that this legislation won't apply to, depending on, you know, how, if they have like a severe disability or something like that, but, you know, might be some non-English speakers that maybe have not been in the country for a while, you know, so I'm hoping that this will kind of like help refine some of this a little bit, and we'll learn a little bit more after we get further.
One other thing, the question or just a comment on this, so in the spring of, or in the summer of 2017, it pretty well puts it back on the parents, like, they have to go to summer school, they have to be there 90% of the time, or else this is gonna happen.
Right, right. And we've been talking to that group of parents since before those kids entered kindergarten.
So they-
I mean, we have
Yeah,
been.
they-
Okay, the contract and all that
letters,
stuff
and
that
they've
you're talking
signed the
about.
contract, they letters in the mail to make sure that they're getting those. Mr. Bruder, last year met with, pretty much all of them, in person or via the phone or through parent-teacher conferences, so they're very aware of what this legislation has. And we do talk about grade advancement, you know, that there's a possibility that might not happen for their child, so.
And that group of students that will take the test in 3rd grade, we started at Roundup with this discussion or sharing this information.
Possibility of,
Yeah,
That this is what the law says.
yeah, so now all of a sudden that's.
Right.
Boom.
it. Yeah, they are aware of it.
been on the radio, it's been in the newspaper, you know, we're trying to do the best we can to
Announcements.
continue. The governor had a letter that he put out last year, and all of those parents got a copy of the letter from the governor in Iowa stating that this is the new legislation, so. You know, we're all working hard.
There'll always be somebody though that
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
know what you're talking about when we
Yeah.
get there.
Kids are
Yeah.
working hard, parents are working hard,
Yeah.
teachers are working hard, and we're gonna do our best to make sure that there's not a lot of kids that are gonna fall through the cracks.
Good.
Any questions?
Appreciate your work on that.
Very important
Good
work.
job.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, no December work sessions?
No December work session, but we may have a work session coming up. There's some other loose ends that may come together that, but it will.
As needed, we can
Yeah.
schedule something?
Yep.
Okay. All right, down to policies for first read. Number 600, goals and objectives of the education program, and you can see the list there, all the way down through 603.11 citizenship. Is there a motion to approve those policies for first read?
I'll make a motion to approve the policies for first read.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then policies for second read, 41.7 employee travel compensation, goes on down through 508.2 open night. Is there a motion for those?
I'll make a motion to approve second read.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Personnel recommendations, there's Tamara Harms as the middle school head food service for 15-16, Deb Dahl, middle school, high school paraprofessional, and a mentor coach for 15-16, Katie Stanton as elementary paraprofessional mentor coach, 15-16, Dave Orr as the high school TLC AIW anchor for 15-16, Kylie Reimers as elementary ELL teacher associate for 15-16. Is there a motion to approve all those personnel recommendations?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then resignations, Melissa Kramer's middle school food service, Deborah Sorrell as middle school ELL teacher associate, Roxana Olson as middle school teacher associate. Is there a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve those.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What's SBRC, Mr. Darling?
That's a fancy word for when we can tax back for it if we need to. It is a tax that we can, that can raise those funds, like if you have a large amount of enrollment, you can get more there. If you have large funds of ELL students coming in, or open enroll out or in, come in there. So, yeah, that's for that tax, so that we can tax more for the, by legal, it depends if we want to too. We don't have to tax for that too. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, so.
So that's the
That's a, yeah, we
SBRC.
put, yeah. And that is on, I'll give you the documents that had in there of the SBRC application. So.
Okay. And those application requests is for increasing enrollment, that'd be $0, open enrollment out, an extra $90,397. Excess, what's LEP?
LEP is,
Local, isn't it?
Yeah.
Local?
Local
And 15,599.
see, sometimes I get caught on these acronyms too. Because ELL changed to LAU, and then we got another one that's just, and then I heard the governor is renaming Silo too, I guess. Phil, did you get the new name for Silo?
Yeah, it's called SAVE.
Say, yeah, it's like.
Don't ask me what it stands for.
So there we are, no, and we do this every year, this is something we do every year, so.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve that application request?
I'll make it a motion to approve the application.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then approve the superintendent recommendation for the building and grounds truck bids for 15-16 school year.
Yeah, we.
What do we get for that?
Yeah, we received 3 bids, Ford, Chevy, and Chrysler. And it was the Ford dealers that came in the lowest bid. Same truck, we had the same specs, we didn't specify Ford, Chevy, or whatever, we just said, you know, like a 3/4 ton, had to have tow package, had to have plow package, you know, down the line. And so each of them give their quotes of that. And then we did a separate one